Hello, happy magical Tuesday. We thought we would have some fun with some themes for our news briefs. Did you know that Friday is Harry's 40th birthday? A few of us here at NAMI did. Anyway, if you're new here, I'm Jessica, or Professor McGonagall for today. I'm your host. First up, we have Ashley flying in to chat about upcoming events.
Why, hi there, Jessica.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm ready to share some upcoming events.
Great. What kind of broom do you have there?
You know, this isn't the state of the art. This is probably clean sweep 0.0 over here, but it's doing the job.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'm really excited to hear what you have for us today.
Definitely. Thanks, Jessica. All right. So we have a lot going on in the next 2 weeks. Next week, we will be at the Wood County Fair. So make sure to stop by the NAMI Wood County booth. We're there all week, Monday through Sunday, starting August 3rd through the 9th. The following week, we have 2 different programs. One is our WRAP program. WRAP stands for Wellness Recovery Action Plan. Through the class, you learn different skills that can help you in obtaining wellness, and then you also develop a recovery action plan, or excuse me, sorry, I totally forgot what it's called. The crisis plan, as well as advanced directives. We also have a webinar coming up on the 13th. It is our webinar with some of our local mental health providers to share some information about how they adapted their services for in response to COVID-19. So I'll make sure to, in the comment section, list the links for both of these classes, and for any updates about classes or any of our support groups or any programs, visit our website or social media sites. That is the upcoming events.
Well, that was one of the most eventful current reports we've ever had yet. You better watch out for those bloody bludgers, Ashley.
Oh, I better. All right. Thanks, Jessica. Woo!
Bye. And just as a reminder, as Ashley said, check out our website, follow us on social media, so you can get more details there. So I'm looking forward to mental health in the news. I don't know about you all, but we have a couple of special reports today, one statewide, one national. And I believe we have Bree, or it looks like Bellatrix Strange, joining us.
You also can refer to me as the most loyal servant to our Dark Lord, but that will do.
Well, that's my cue to leave.
Well, so Governor Mike DeWine signed a new order expanding telehealth in Ohio, stating that he hopes that people who need mental or physical or behavioral health can get the help they need with this order. The executive order will broaden the ability of people to access counselors, social workers, and marriage and family counselors. NAMI Ohio applauds the extension of telehealth services, especially since the COVID-19 pandemic has overwhelmed our communities and our healthcare system, including adding greater demands for mental health care. As the executive director of NAMI Ohio, Terry Russell, stated, crisis hotlines for mental health services have seen a 1,000% increase in calls since April, with telehealth services being a life-saving link to those needing access to mental health services and supports. Up next, we're going to have Lauren, or Lily Potter, I suppose.
Thanks, Bellatrix. Today I'm going to talk about a blog post posted by NAMI National regarding cultural competency and why it's important that therapists are culturally competent. And just to give you some background, cultural competency is defined by Google as the ability to understand, communicate, and interact with people across cultures. So the writer of the blog post discusses their difficult experience in finding a therapist that worked for them, because while the therapists they were going to were trained in trauma, they were only familiar with what trauma looked like in the majority culture, not through the cultures the writer identified belonging to. And the writer explained how this barrier made it difficult to connect with therapists and how it's important to address this issue so that everyone can get the help they need. And the writer suggested a couple tips for making therapists culturally competent. So the first is, don't say that people of color don't seek mental health services, because the truth is that they do, but they find it difficult to find therapists with a similar cultural experience. And second, address race in therapy sessions. 3, don't rely on a translator. And 4, update the therapeutic method to a person's culture. So back to you, Jessica, or Professor McGonagall.
Well, thank you, ladies, or Bellatrix and Lily. I mean, really not the pair I would have ever thought would join as a team. But I'm really glad that telehealth is more available as an option for folks. So next up we have Kaylee, or Snape, is here as a visiting comrade, I guess you could say. Kaylee, you're going to share a little bit with us today about what NAMI means to you, correct?
I am.
All right. Take it away.
It's a pleasure to see you, Minerva, and Lily, of course. So what NAMI means to me is a place to grow and help the community that lives around me. I'm grateful that by previously working with NAMI and currently with the Wood County Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board, that I'm able to see the people that I care about both providing and receiving the help that they need. Back to you, Professor.
Well, thanks for sharing with us, Snape or Kaylee, even though that might have been a little difficult for you. So we're still sharing information on minorities as we're still celebrating Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And today we have Courtney, or looks like Harry, is going to be sharing some fun facts with us today. You have some fun facts?
Yes, I do, and I'm excited to share.
Take it away, Courtney.
All right. So this month, we have discussed a variety of populations in relation to mental health, as well as address the stigma of mental health within these populations. So to finish off Minority Mental Health Month, we will be discussing Middle Eastern and Northern African populations, which is also referred to as Arab populations. According to the Arab Youth Survey in 2019, mental illness is shown to be a widespread concern among youth in the Middle East and North Africa. It has been found that youth in Arab populations deal with difficulties relating to depression, anxiety, eating disorders, suicide, post-traumatic disorders, and many others, with 31% of Arabs knowing someone suffering from a mental health issue. Some attribute this to the fact that younger generations are more exposed than the older ones to what's happening in the world, as well as feelings of inadequacy in matters of education, career, and lifestyle. In the past, those who have lived in these nations were more likely to face extermination or sterilization if they had a mental health-related condition. Fortunately, this does not happen nowadays. However, there are still issues of stigmatizing and discriminating those with a mental illness in these Arab nations. Some researchers attribute this to strong religious beliefs, but overall, impact of mental health stigma is very complex. In the US in 2016, nearly 1.2 million immigrants from the Middle East/Northern Africa region lived in the United States, accounting for roughly 3% of the country's approximate 44 million immigrants. For Arab Americans, issues relating to discrimination, immigration, and other stressful situations can contribute to the onset of mental illness. If you are struggling with mental illness, please reach out. We at NAMI Wood County strive for folks in our community to receive support and education relating to mental illness. If you are in need of services, please dial 211 to be connected. If you are in need of crisis services, call the Wood County Crisis Line, which that number is below. And while we are not able to address every minority population in our Did You Know segments this month, it does not mean that other populations are not important. You can learn more about Minority Mental Health Month by visiting NAMI National's website, and we'll provide that link for you in the comments. You can also learn more about the importance of being culturally competent and its relation to mental health at the link that will also be in the comments. That's all I have to share today, so back to you, Jessica.
Hey, thanks for sharing a little bit more about Middle Eastern mental health. And hey, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Last but not least, we have our self-care corner, and we have Shari sharing again. Hey, or is it Hermione?
Hermione. Today I'm going to talk about taking breaks. Did you know taking a 5 to 10 minute break from your work every couple hours can reduce anxiety, increase creativity, and prevent burnout. Here are some examples of what you can do to take a short mental break. You can read a positive note, listen to your favorite song, meditate, doodle, or take a walk, or play with your wand. Swish and slash, swish and slash. Wingardium Leviosa.
Well, it looks like Professor isn't really available. So that is all from us at the NAMI Wood County crew. Join us next week on Tuesday. We'll be waiting.
Swish and slash. Swish